My name is Chinonso, 500 level electrical engineering graduate. I'm very happy, like I can't express how happy I am to be among you. From when he started his introductory speech, he said quite some things that one thing I've always discovered for most of us in the tech ecosystem, it's more like we have a similar background. As a matter of fact, from my year 1 up to my year 3, I never knew him, but we're in the same faculty. But from what he said, I can have a throwback of what some things that happened to me early enough when I started. So I've had a passion for tech, and believe me, in my year 1, when I hear someone talk about tech, the only thing I think about is electronics, because that's just my area, that's just what I know, that's just what I understand. Me hearing tech, the only thing I think about is electronics embedded system. It was later on in my life I discovered that even web design is part of tech, graphic design is part of tech, motion graphics is a part of tech, and I was so fascinated to know this. But I'll be talking on 3 points. I'll be talking on 3 things. I think I have a very limited time, so I don't have time to say all I need to say. The first thing I'll be talking about is identifying your passion. The second one is growing your passion, and the third one is getting what you want out of your passion. I've been just like me going into tech, mainly I wasn't in that quest of wanting how to make money. I really needed something that I can give my whole self to. I can give my entire self to, like I can be known for this, my name. That's just the only thing I wanted. Like I just wanted to summarize my whole life to one thing. And that was when my journey with electronics started before I came to school. But the journey became serious when I got admitted. In my year 1, I felt like I was all alone, like there was nobody like me. I had this desire for tech, and I couldn't find anybody that had the same drive same as myself. The best I knew was analog electronics. So I could just, even then I had a lot of, compared to what I would say where I am now, I would say where I was in my year 1, I wasn't even started back then. So the whole idea of me coming to school, doing electrical engineering, I just want to do something that has wire related to it. Like I can just see cables, wires, and ICs and the rest of that. So, but later on I discovered that even the electronic side, I said I loved, it was way beyond that. It was a conversation that changed my whole perspective about. I met a friend of mine. We were just talking about electronics, and he told me something. He said that he watched a movie where someone could actually write programs into a chip. And see, sorry, I don't want you guys to get it really complex in your head. When I say I might use some kind of technical terms, I don't know how much you know about it, but even your memory card is an IC. Your memory card is a chip. Anything you can send information, you can read information or you can write information into or read information out of with a chip. So sometimes when I use those chip ICs, just okay, if you done for your mind to start thinking of one complex, you just think about the memory card. It's a very, very simple. I think everybody's phone here, we all have a memory card in our phones. So he told me, I was so fascinated when he said that there are ICs where you can write codes in a computer and send to those, you can write commands into those ICs, and they do that same thing you want them to do. Like he said he watched a movie where someone was doing something like that. And believe me, I never knew that there was something like that. I never knew that there was actually a way or anything, because I just see most of this electronic stuff, and I feel like the white people, they've gone way beyond us, and there's no way we could match that closeness. I was so fascinated only to discover that those things were possible. So I was so restless. After then, I got to my hostel. I started reading things. I started searching for things randomly, and I found a word I've been seeing so many times. But that day, that word made sense to me. That's Adino. How many of you have heard of Adino? You've heard of Adino? Okay. That was when I found the word Adino. I said, I've been seeing this thing. Let me just check what this thing is all about. So then I started reading about it, and I discovered with this Arduino you can actually do these things. You can write information with your laptop, write in command, and you want this thing to do this particular thing, and it will do exactly what you asked it to do. It was a whole new exposure, and I would say I had no idea about coding. I had no idea about anything programming. There was no, as a matter of fact, the time I went there, what they told me, I became scared and had to come back. I learned coding as relates to embedded electronics on my own, by myself. When I went there, they were telling me about 170,000, where a one student that I know how difficult things were, and me pulling out that kind of money, if I thought there was, to go for such a thing. So it wasn't feasible, I wasn't seeing it. So I just felt like, okay, then, as of my year one, they were giving me 2005. So things weren't as expensive as they were now. Then it was USD, just as you said. They were giving me 2005. I wouldn't mind, I would take 1.5 from that 2005 to buy components. And you know the funny thing, I would go to lab, direct to lab, buy some components, come back, come to my hostel, fix them, and those things would burn. But I wasn't feeling bad. I was happy that at least I was able to do something that smoke would come out of it. That was my whole, I was excited, and if you see me doing stuff like this, I always discomforted my roommates. But the most annoying thing there is that if I do something, I don't see any smoke and it doesn't work, I would get angry. In fact, I won't feel like it's better I see smoke and I know that the thing just got burned down. I would feel excited to be like, oh, my roommates will say, well, it's not too bumpy out. Actually, I felt like I was doing something. But as time progresses, some of them would work, while some of them didn't. So over time, during holidays, I don't even go home. So one thing I would want to say is that the certain guidelines that helped me, even when I was doing those things and I wasn't seeing results, but I felt like I was doing something. You know, it's a miracle for some persons to really find out what they really like. When you find out what you're called for, you find out your passion, it's a miracle on its own. You discover the whole big thing about yourself. It doesn't matter, it might not be tech, it might be music, it might be whatever. As a matter of fact, I knew some of my classmates who went into music. They are doing very well. Very, very well. So the whole idea about this thing is finding what you would summarize yourself to. Saying that you're living for this one thing. So when these things, it happened on and on, all through down to my level 102nd semester, I felt like I was doing this thing alone. So the second thing I would want to tell you is that whatever thing you want to do, find a circle of persons that have the same like minds as you. If you can't find those persons, influence people. Because there I felt I was doing all these things alone. I would go get them, stay in my hostel, read alone, make notes. I formed notes. That those notes, they later became things I used in organizing programs, teaching people. And it paid me a whole lot. I wasn't seeing any of those things when I got started. So when I I had friends. As a matter of fact, I was a very poor introvert in my year one. So there was no the idea of friends. I never had any friends, but I had some persons I related with. And because of these things I was doing, some of them that were, when they come, they become so fascinated. That how come? How did you do it? How did you do it? So there, from class, from after lecture, they all come to my hostel. And that's how they were all influenced. About three to four of them. I got them all influenced. As a matter of fact, all of us started going to lab together to buy components. We started buying. We'd go together. We'd buy. We'd come. They would want to do. I would be the one to guide them. And we now say, okay, let's form a group within ourselves. Let's form something within ourselves where maybe we could meet at intervals and know what and really know how far we could drive certain things, and let's see what the future might turn out to be. That's where we formed a group and we called it Powertronics. So many persons in my level, they don't even know my name. What they know me as is Powertronics. There was one guy, he knows my name, but maybe this when you want to call someone and the person's name escape your mind, he just shouted electronics, and I turned back. He said, I know if I just call anything, why are you? So, but that was how far the thing drive us, and gradually we found some other persons, and I've not regretted any the steps I took in course of this, because it didn't just, someone said that a candle loses nothing when it lights up, when it lights up other candles. I have friends, and I would say as a result of that circle, that from so many persons they found their passion. Some persons were directed, some persons doing pretty well today. Even we had some persons that were then in my year one, they were in year two, year three, that they became part of this, they became so committed to it, and since that particular time, they've had a clear-cut direction. That's what they're still doing, even up to now, as they've graduated. So when it grew on, and from my year two, I noticed that most of these projects I did are stuff they give to students, for students as practicals or stuff like that to do. So why some persons could promise me from level 400 when I was in year one second semester, they would get the components, and if it's things I don't accept that I can't do anything they bring to me, I would say, let me just give it my time, I can do it. As a matter of fact, when this whole thing when I was doing all these things, I know nothing about programming, I know nothing about putting digital electronic circuits together. So when they would come, analog circuits, work on these things, and sometimes I use their project at their own expense to learn how to build certain circuits. So when they came, and when I was doing for them, I was still developing myself, and that launched me into making projects for final year students for my level 300. So I would really want to from my year one or my year two. It started like a joke, but I would say I've achieved a lot because of the little things I'm doing now. It has given me more than I expected. I learned things the hard way with my own expense. I made a lot of mistakes, but I would say those mistakes I made were just school fees I paid in the school of experience, because I learned a whole lot from them. When someone teaches you something, you avoid certain mistakes, but when you make certain mistakes and you know certain things, it places you, even if you stay with someone who was taught, there's a difference, because you're saying something out of a deep root of understanding. You're convinced, you know that you know. But what am I saying? If you have a passion, you have something that you really have feel in your heart that you want to do. At the first instance, sometimes you can't see the future out of it. But what I want to say is that when you find something you feel in your heart you can do, give it all your commitment, give it all you have, like give yourself wholly to it. So when these things happen, I just can't start saying some things that happen along the line. But as I discovered this Arduino thing, I went to YouTube. I bought courses on Udemy. I did a lot of things, and I could grow myself. One thing about tech is an experience. Any area of tech, it's a journey. You just can't see the end of the road when you begin. As you keep on going, the future gets brighter, and that's true for anything anything you have as a passion. You might not see the future of whatever thing you're doing now, and that's why. How many persons do we have here from maybe year 1, year 2? How many persons do we have here? Probably year 3. Are there some persons in year 3 here? It's okay. It's never too late to begin anything you want to do. It's seriously never too late. Anytime you wake up, believe me, in a space of 3 months, I always give myself targets that, okay, let me see, I need to learn how to do this thing. Let me give myself from now to the end of this month. That's the only way I don't pressure myself to learn certain things. When I give myself a particular deadline and I focus on that, and sometimes I've always seen myself, I've always placed myself in certain things that at the end of the day, I was so surprised that I was able to do certain things. I've always seen myself most times. I said this earlier, I was an introvert, a very strong one. But because of these things I'm doing, it really brought me to the limelight. That even in my department, as of my level 300, I was doing embedded system project for master students. I do assignments for people studying electrical engineering abroad, simulation assignment, and all these things I've been doing. I didn't go to anywhere to learn them formally. It was just the passion I have to do most of all these things I'm doing. From my level 300 or down up to my level 500, the little things I do have been the thing paying my school fees, my rent, every single thing I've ever done. It has been, I'm not saying it bad, but I've not worked for anybody all my life. I've always been in my house, stay there. Most of the things it's always, okay, you know someone who can do this. I was so familiar with almost all the lecturers in my department, not because I went to anybody's office. It's the ability to solve problems. You know someone who can do this, they say, oh, there's a student who's in level 400, who's in level 300, who's in final year that can do this. As a matter of fact, my department had to call me to organize IT for people doing IT in my department. The current final year. My department had to call me to come organize training for them in the department. So I'm not saying this maybe to blow my trumpet or something, but it all started like a joke. It all started as if I wasn't serious with what I'm doing. It all started like a play like I just call people in my department to become and really when you start doing something, don't expect instant results. I said something, give yourself wholly to it. Get focused. There's always a way. I've been exposed, like I've gone to different places, I've gone to a lot of places. Whenever you have an ability to solve problems, there are always opportunities. There are always opportunities. People say in school that there's no way to make money, there's no way to do this. There's always an opportunity. Just you don't see those opportunities with your eyes, you see them with your mind. You've heard it before, but hear it again. You don't see those opportunities with your eyes, you see them with your mind. So because of time, I think maybe I might just show you certain things, show you some things that I did, because the truth of the matter, I just want to light up your mind, to something. Even if I'm giving 10 hours to talk, I always have something to say. But the truth of the matter is that we can't learn these things just sit there, just in a couple of minutes. I don't know, but we all have different interests. As I said earlier on, when I heard about tech, I thought tech was just limited to the scope of it was something I haven't heard before. I don't know, but before I proceed, is there anybody, are they persons, I know we all have different things one or two. Are there persons who are interested in embedded systems? Who are interested in embedded systems? Are there persons like that? Who are interested in, maybe let's say LSC, you can be interested in business regardless of your department. You can say like, I know someone who was in law as of my level 300, this guy was far better than so many persons in my department in electronics. He built circuits, in fact he designs inverter. It was in law faculty. So are there persons like that? Maybe persons who are interested in electronics, interested in embedded system. It's a whole new, when you hear things that smart, you hear smart homes, smart roads, smart whatever. It's just when you add electronics to whatever thing and it has an ability to read certain parameters from the surrounding and execute certain commands. That's what that smart is all about. And when you get smart about anything, you're talking about electronics, whether you like it or not. So, without wasting much of our time, I did this a system I designed, a black suit sensor. How many of us know black suit? We've heard of black suit. So it's a black suit sensor I designed for someone. This black suit sensor reads. When the person met me, I said something. There's one thing in life, if you want to make money, learn to solve problems. It's very important. You get paid for the problem you solve. Then you get, how do they say this? People hate you for the problem because they pay you for the problem you solve. But when I met me, if I'm able to do a black suit sensor, I've not really seen any device that checks black suit. I searched it online. I've not seen any device like that. So I went and I was like, what are the what are the makeup of black suit? What are the different things that come together to make this black suit? And he gave me about 5 compounds that does that. And I individually made devices that checked the element of, because black suit is just like a single compound that has different elements attached to it, surrounding it, that makes it a black suit. So I was able to make a design of something that could read individually the parameters of each of those elements. And when I made them together, I made them work as one. So this device now, I told him I was able to do it. As small as this device is, you won't believe that the person paid about almost 200,000 for this thing you're seeing here. So when I did that with still the Arduino you're seeing. This is an Arduino Nano. For those of you hearing Arduino for the first time, if you're really interested in this, maybe after now, I just need your contacts for those persons. Maybe just a little, I just want to know you, then get your contacts, then know the little if you have passion for it. Not if you're interested in it, if you have passion for it. You meet me, and maybe if for mentorship or whatever, I can expose you to certain things that will make you grow by yourself. You understand? So I used the same Arduino chip, and I designed and I made a program for it, and I was able to achieve that. So this device will read the value of black suit in a particular area and send it to any mobile device connected to it. Person's name, I don't know if it's clear enough. So we are seeing carbon, sodium, nitrite, about 5 compounds or so that makes up. I don't expect it to be clear from where you're seated. But if you come closer, maybe later, maybe you can see, if you can still see, I don't know. But it calculates everything and all the individual elements and and sum them together. It does the binary function inside, then give you the value of black suit in a particular environment. So when you know how to solve problems, that's when you make business out of it. In learning anything, money shouldn't be the drive. Money shouldn't be the drive. It should be out of the picture completely. If not, sincerely speaking, people always say this, but along the line I discovered the reason why they say this. I really knew from my own experience why they said money shouldn't be driving anything you're doing. Because what I'm doing now, I never saw a quarter of it when I got started. And I know that I've not even begun. I know for sure that I've not even begun anything I'm doing. So, because of our time, I think I really thought maybe we could do one or two things, but time will permit that. The person moderating is standing, so they are cutting eyes, looking at me, but I just pray for those persons who are interested. We just have a little meet up. I get your contact and we keep touch. And maybe I can be something that nobody was to me. I can be that to you. Thank you.